So you go to the grocery store with every intention on buying healthy food. But when you get there, you realize there's a million brands of the same product. How do you choose which one to buy and what to put back? A lot of times that comes down to the nutrition facts label. So when I go to the grocery store, I see a lot of people stopping in the aisle and looking at labels, and I wonder if they know really what to look for and what might not be as important on a nutrition facts label. I think it's really important to understand a nutrition facts label because we need to know what it is we're eating. The ingredients, the nutrition facts, all of those things, you need to know what you're putting in your body. So I figured I would make this video to tell you and give you an idea of what things are important on a label and what you don't need to pay as much attention to. So I grabbed a bag of Goldfish and I thought we could go through that nutrition facts label together. So the first thing that I always look at when I'm looking at a product is the ingredient list. So this can be kind of like, it might stop you right there. If you look at the ingredient list and it's full of words you can't really pronounce, preservatives, just other ingredients that you're not really familiar with, you might be like, well, I don't want to eat that or give that to my family. So I'm going to put the product back. If you do look at the ingredient list and it seems like it's a good product, then look at the nutrition facts on this label. So when you look at the label, the first thing to look for after the ingredients is the serving size. So this is huge because it can be misleading. Manufacturers sometimes make serving sizes really small to make it look like the food is healthier than it actually is. A lot of times it's with desserts. If it's a brownie or a donut or something, the serving size might be like 1/8 of a piece or something like that, when it's like, no one's really going to eat that, right? So, and if, for 1/8 of a piece, the calories and everything don't look so bad, right? But who's actually eating that? So you really want to pay attention to the serving size. The serving size on this Goldfish is 55 pieces, which is kind of a lot, but I guess with Goldfish, that kind of adds up quickly. All right, so for 55 pieces, then I'll look at the calories. I'll take a look at the calories. Right here is 140 for 55 pieces. And I think for a snack, that sounds decent, but it depends on what the calories are made up of. What else is on the nutrition facts label? Is it really high in saturated fat, something like that? So I look at the calories pretty open-minded, and kind of just go through a check of the calories on through the roof, right? So 140 calories, let's move on. Then it comes to checking out the percent daily value. So that's on the right hand of the nutrition label. And I'll tell you why that's important. So that reflects the percentage of this Goldfish on how many calories, how much fat a normal average person gets in a day, right? They make the default 2,000 calories. So they're saying that the percent value of this total fat is 6% of your daily value, meaning you're eating 6% of the fat you are allowed for the day in this Goldfish. So 6%, let's move on. That's for the total fat. Then underneath total fat, you want to look at saturated fat. So saturated fat is really a crucial one to look at. That kind of tells you whether or not it's really a healthy food or a not healthy food. Saturated fat is the leading cause of high cholesterol. It is bad for your for heart health, a whole bunch of things saturated fat isn't great for. So take a look at that. See how much is there. So in this goldfish, the saturated fat is 1 gram for 55 pieces. That's not bad, 1 gram. I'll take it. Saturated fat is in meat and dairy. So the saturated fat in this comes from the cheese and maybe some of the oil. So 1 gram, not a huge deal. Then you will see underneath it, under the total fat category, is polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fat. So really that's just, we call it the good fat, right? There's kind of a bad fat, which is saturated fat, and a good fat, which is your unsaturated fats. So here, there's 3 grams of unsaturated fat. Love that, right? It's kind of hard for us to get enough healthy fat in our diet a day. So the fact that in this snack food, my kids are eating 3 grams of healthy fat and a small amount of goldfish, I think that's pretty good, especially since there's only 1 gram of saturated fat. Come down to cholesterol, you can take a look at. It's not the products that are highest in cholesterol are like full fat dairy, meat, maybe some baked goods, things like that. So you want to take a look at that and take a look at the percentage of your day. If cholesterol is, the daily value says it's 25% of your day, then you might not want to continue with that product. In the goldfish, the cholesterol is only 10 milligrams, which is only 3% of our day. So let's keep going. Sodium is a pretty good thing to pay attention to. We get way too much sodium in our diet in America. So that is something that's going to really sneak up in a lot of foods. So you want to take a look at that. The sodium in this goldfish is 250 milligrams, which would be 11% of the daily value for sodium. So, for a snack, you're going to have some sodium, you're going to have some fat. So, that's not terrible. Carbohydrates. So this is one I want to kind of point out. So a lot of times someone will look at the total carbohydrates and think if it's high, then that's not a good food, right? Because carbohydrates aren't, some people think carbohydrates aren't healthy for us, or they're going to make us gain weight, or things like that. So people will shy away if the total carb amount is high. However, in looking at the total carbs, the most important thing to look is under the total carbohydrate, which is the dietary fiber. So that's really important because fiber is a part of the carbohydrates, of the total carbohydrates. So if your total carbohydrate is 20 grams, but 5 of those grams come from fiber, then that's really good. Fiber is huge. I'll have to do another video on fiber. So that's a really important thing. So always, when you're looking at carbs, make sure you look right underneath for fiber, check that amount out, and check out the percent of the daily value for that. This product isn't very high in fiber. It has less than 1 gram, which is 4%. So 4% of your day. Sugars, you really want to just look at added sugars. So sugars can be like if you're looking at fruit, right? The sugar content is going to be high because it's fruit. You're really concerned about added sugars. How much sugar are we adding to foods? So that's the main sugar, amount to look at on the label, added sugars. We want to keep those as low as possible. And they can really add up in products. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Protein, obviously protein is great, especially if you can have that in a snack. The protein in this goldfish is 3 grams. So that's pretty good for, this this serving of goldfish. So that's the upper portion of the nutrition facts label. The upper portion is really your macronutrients and the most popular things like sodium and cholesterol. The bottom part of the nutrition facts label is vitamins and minerals. So that's really important to look at because we might be getting, a whole lot of a vitamin or a mineral in a product, and we might not realize it unless you look at the nutrition facts label. So for example, in this goldfish, we're looking at there's 8% of daily value in one serving, 8% of your iron intake for the day in one serving of goldfish. 8%, that's a lot for the day in a snack. So, some of your B vitamins were up to 15% of your day. So keeping that in mind too, like what nutrients are, what vitamins and minerals are contributing to the overall product. So that's kind of how to look at these on a nutrition facts label. It, is really important to go through the different products that you're getting and deciding whether or not it's the best product for you based on the nutrition facts label. It is confusing. It takes a little bit of practice. If you kind of just go to your pantry and start taking some items out and looking at the nutrition facts label to get familiar with it and the different things to look at, that will be helpful for the next time you go to the grocery store. So if you have any other questions on the nutrition facts label, please leave me a comment and I will be happy to answer your questions.